Westby Brocha to Linley Wylla, of Thara Wylla on tha Hulla, Thonaby Thara Hulla, up on Longslades to Hafoc Wylla, of Hafoc Wylla eft on Hertley, West of Weirdra. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm in Æsctune, Divisiones at Æsctune, which is called Ashton. It's just north of Bath, and in the Cotswolds, and spring hasn't really caught up here, though there is sign of activity, but there is signs of activity, but it's behind what's going on down in the valleys. That's quite a steep. I was wondering why this was open access. So open access normally the reason for it being open access is that it is unimproved grassland. And I thought, that looks like a lovely valley near Bath. Why is it unimproved? Well, you can't get you're not going to get a tractor down up along that grass on that swath, and but anyway, yeah. Besides that, I'm looking. I have a Saxon charter, the Saxon charter Æsctune, and it has some interesting stuff. But what caught my attention, I'm always looking for this, as you know, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, is that it has a landmark called a mærheges, and we know what that means. It means a boundary hedge. So if it's marked in Anglo-Saxon in an Anglo-Saxon charter, and we think we know where we can locate it, which I think we can, then we need to go along there and measure, look at the number of species and give a date for it using the Hooper method. And that's all very exciting. There is also some lovely old names. So over there, that is Hafoc Wylla, and which means the wood of the hearts, and wood of the heart. That is heart as in H-A-R-T, a deer. Incidentally, it's still called Hartley today. That's Hartley Farm over there. And that's Hartley Wood, which is a nice little survival of those old English names. I tell you what, it's jolly nice of the farmer to sanctify this 1,000-year-old Dark Age landmark with an old English name. To sanctify it with some old concrete that has just been thrown down there. I don't know whether those are millstones or not. I might have to go. I've been avoiding, because there's a barbed wire fence, going around to go and have a look. But there might be 2 millstones over there, which might be worth a look. But anyway, yes, this is the Hafoc. Hold on. This is the Hafoc, the Hafoc Wylla, which means the Hawkswell, and the field over there is, according to Grundy, G.V. Grundy, is called Hawkswell. There's a nice continuity there again, and so this is a Dark Age name. Who knows why they gave it to us? Perhaps there was a hawk when they were. Perhaps there was hawks in this woodland up here. But it is, the boundary turns left at this point and heads off westward. So it's a landmark. It would obviously, very probably, have given its name to this gully here, the stream that went down this gully, that carved out this gully, and it would have. It's very sad the conditions it's in. It wouldn't take very much to clean that up. I mean, honestly, if the farmer needs a, he's a single-handed, needs a hand, I'll come and give him a hand moving that. But such a shame. Those millstones might just be concrete footings for posts, but I don't think they are. Let's go and have a look. But before we do that, so let's have a look at this hedge. So the charter says from Hafoc Wylla, go along the mærheges. Now this is today the boundary between Somerset and Gloucestershire. So it may well be a legal thing to have a proper fixed boundary between. Shire means division, to shear something, and it's older than it's English, whereas county obviously comes from Latin through French, but shire is properly English, old English. So and pronounced in a northern way, shearer. So my southern sure doesn't really cut it. But anyway, yeah. So let's have a look at what species we've got. Do a hooper test, and see if there's anything to report. That's a gooseberry. What on earth it's doing here? It's it must be a wild plant at some point. So yeah, I don't know whether that applies for the hooper rule. Probably not. It's not a tree, but yeah, no, I was surprised to see that there. I do see the sort of berry plants in woodland. So 5 species: ash, elder, hazel, hawthorn, blackthorn. What doesn't count is my gooseberries, and so that's 580 years. So no, we can't prove it's an anglo-saxon hedge, but it doesn't matter because we're doing citizen science. So what is interesting, a bit more interesting, is there's signs of hedge laying down on this holloway down here. There's an embankment. Obviously, there's an embankment for a holloway, and there's more species, but I don't have an old name for it, not even a medieval name. So I'm not going to hooper it, but But the signs of hedge laying are clearly a couple of hundred years old. So that's a nice feature to actually see. I couldn't see any hedge laying on this hedge, the county boundary, because it's mostly hazel. Hazel's predominant, and it's been coppiced, so created into stools. So there's no sign I could see of it being layered. Concrete gate post footings, and the post is rotted out.